Hello, everybody. All right, I want to go over with you guys about how to use MyMathLab. And this should be the view that you have. Once you've logged on to MyMathLab, this will be your course home. And on here, you have a calendar that tells you when everything was made available. Let me scroll through there. I've opened up everything for you guys to be available from the very beginning of the course. So it's self-paced. You can go through, but I do have due dates to help motivate. All right, and right now your due date is scheduled for the 31st. All right, and this is a way in which you can look ahead and you can be able to plan out, backwards plan, when does stuff due? When do I have to have this stuff done? So, with that being said, probably the first due date, I'm going to push that back a couple of days since there was a delay in everybody getting in here, but I can't push it back much more just for the simple fact of we have there's so much material you've got to cover, and I've actually had to cut out a lot. So, that being said, next, what to work on next. This is more or less a thing that'll let you know what's current, what do you need to get done now, and it'll be in chronological order to how I've entered in the information. So once you've gone through this material, it's going to bring up the next ones whenever you look at it the next time. Overall score. This is your grade book. One thing I want to caution y'all on about the grade book is that it only lists the grade of the problems that you have currently worked. So if you've worked two homework assignments and you have 100 on both of those and you haven't worked five others and you're like, I got 100 in the class, and then the due date comes, those five grades that you did not work on will become zeros and your grade will not be a 100. Sometimes that is difficult for people to see and understand. Just because your grade is listed as 100, you got to take into context, I have to get all of the work done. All right, so that is your course homepage, and this is more or less your just course home toolbar. You can get on here. A lot of the stuff that you may see here on mine will not be the same for yours, just for because I'm the instructor. But anything that you have over here in your toolbar, and unfortunately I really can't see what your MyMathLab looks like, click on it, explore. There are a lot of resources in there, but sometimes we can be over inundated with the resources that we have. So over here, let's see, gradebook. Gradebook will break down each assignment for you and what your grade is, and your grade by homeworks, and your grade by quizzes, and your grade by exams, along with each individual quiz grade, homework grade, and exam grade. You have your e-text. This is your electronic textbook that you're able to access and be able to use. Multimedia library, you can go in there and be able to see, but what I've tried to do for you guys is just ease of what it is, just all your courses, and a lot of y'all are working as it is. I've tried to put everything that you need in there for you to be able to go to one spot, and that's your assignments. So that way you understand video, textbooks, they're not a grade. I'm not giving you a grade because you watched videos because you needed help with the problem. It's not. I'm not giving you a grade because you read your textbook. It's not. Those are two things that help you study, help you conceptualize, help you critically think about being able to get to work the homework problems. So let's look at the video. Click on video and it pops up, and then what I have here is I have example problems for just section 1.1 that you can go on here and you can click and you can watch, and an instructor, somebody from the authors or one of their TAs is working a problem for you. The next thing is the textbook. And your textbook, if you bought a hard copy, there's nothing wrong with it. I prefer a hard copy book. I just prefer having a math book in front of me. The e-text is the same thing. Some of y'all may prefer to have an e-text, electronic textbook. You may be able to just use that. But what I've done is I've just put that specific section there to where you click to it and it goes right to it. But let's get to homework. So we click the homework. This pops up. Gives you the title of what you're doing. Sometimes we do get lost in that, especially not being able to flip pages in a book and seeing our progression as we move through the book. So what you're doing, Whenever it is due, if you've already worked on this, it tells you your current score. This is nice. Unlimited per question, meaning you can work your homework as much as you want to be able to master that. I'm not a big believer in assigning a bunch of homework. If you look at how many different things you have to do generally in a section of math, they generally give you 3 to 5 different things that you have to do in there. That means I assign, let's say there's 5 different things that you have to do in this, 5 little different concepts. I've only given you maybe 5 questions on each one. And even then, I kind of pared it down. What you must do is you need to rework homework problems. If you say, you know what, I'm not completely confident with that, I don't understand that, then you work the problem again. And we'll go into that. Here's a reminder, there are requirements to take the quiz and the test. The requirements aren't steep, okay, because sometimes things can happen, but you must at least make a 40 before you can take the chapter 1 quiz. 40%. So let us look at a homework question. This is a homework question that we have. So state the coordinates of the point graph in the figure below. And then we have a text box that we can enter and be able to type stuff in. Over here is a diagram. We can zoom in. We can actually extrapolate that, pull it out so that we can make it larger. It will turn around and tell you homework score, what you've got so much, what percent out of so many points, 25 points. I can click on this and it will give me a list of all my homework questions. Although it doesn't tell you what each question pertains to, the nice thing about it is that I say question 11 was 2 parts and I missed one of the parts. There'll be a little red X here and it'll give me a score like 0.5 out of 1. I can automatically say, oh, it was question 11 I missed. I can click on it and go right to there and be able to correct that so I can get 100 on my homework. Okay, so let's see. We'll click on question 18 and it pops up. So it wants us to find the distance between 2 points. So we use the distance formula and we come up with, excuse me, let's just guess 16. Ah, man, I missed it. It gives you a hint down here. It tells you how to be able to look at it and the formula to use. It just doesn't say, hey, you got that wrong. And it's actually very polite. It said sorry. So I read that and I think, okay, I've had trouble whenever I watch the videos on this. I need help. So I come up here to question help. I can say help me solve this. Say view an example. There's animation that you can watch. You can do the textbook. Or you can say ask my instructor. Click this and it's going to take this exact question and it's going to give you a dialog box and you type something in there and then you click send and it sends me an email. And it says, little Timmy doesn't know how to work this problem. And then I can get back with you and help you with any of that. Let's look at help me solve this. Help me solve this is nice because it will walk you through step by step. If I am having issues with being able to learn something, I will be writing everything out. So as I work my problems, how I actually work my problems, I act like I'm a teacher and I talk them and I work them. I always write down my formulas. I write everything out. So this kind of does the same thing. It makes you structure your thoughts and think things through. It works through and it shows you how they set everything up. And then you finish off the answer. You can also use view an example. And it will just take you through what they did to set up the problem. One of the key things I believe for working these is that you use paper and pencil and you write everything out. And really it is about thinking. It doesn't matter if you get 100 on your homework, but you don't understand what you did to get 100 on the homework. I think that's imperative. Unfortunately, grades matter, A, B, C, it does matter. But honestly, if you think about it, what matters is, did I learn something? Did I implore, was I able to use what I learned? Is it functional? All right, so I want to leave that homework, and then what I want to do for you guys is to pull up my campus. In my campus, I have placed videos in here that explain content. Now, I think it's important to tie content into homework problems. So I use the application, I apply the content in some work too. But there are no videos, you just have example problems in your course with that are listed in assignments. Those just show you how to work the homework problems. What I've tried to do is take the content to present it to you to where you can think about, okay, this is what I'm doing, this is why I'm doing it. I work through most of these, to be honest with you, are geared toward your homework. There is so much more that we cover in algebra that there isn't time. There is not enough time to be able to cover everything. So what I've done is some of it I've cut out and placed in there. Some of the stuff isn't actually in the book that I've covered, but I think that it will help you to be able to conceptualize and think of. And then I will post a chapter of these as we go along. I still have to get chapter 3 in there. But you click on these are linked through YouTube. Click on it, watch the video. It will help explain the content. What I've also made sure to do, though, is use the same nomenclature that is in the textbook in my videos. That way I'm not using something that I'm familiar with, and then all of a sudden you have to read it over here and it's different in your textbook. So they'll go together. All right, guys, that is how to use my math lab and how to supplement it with my campus. Good luck.